it's Nikki Diaz. I want to share with you my GOAT, the greatest of all time, the GOAT of Oracle decks, because I have been using this deck for over a year and a half, and it is the one that lives on my desk, that I throw in my bag and take with me when I go to the cafe. This is the one that has outlasted all the rest as my fave. The deck that I am featuring today is by Alana Fairchild, is the author, and the artist is Skye, and is called the Sacred Rebels Oracle. And I think it's worth noting, just right out of the gate, how phenomenal the collaboration was between these women. You can really tell that the artist understood the author's vision, and they really worked together to make a stunning Oracle deck. And that is not always the case. So I wanted to highlight that and just applaud these two women for their work. And in fact, I will see if I can find their social information and link it for you in the description if you want to check either of them out further, because I think they're worth getting to know. So let's get into the deck, shall we? I'm going to start with something you may think is silly, but I'm going to talk about the box, okay? It makes a difference, right? So if you want to, take your Oracle deck with you, you pack for a trip, then the box is going to make a difference. And this is a really nice, sturdy box. And it's just, I don't know, it's satisfying, right? When you have a box that is like that. And the guidebook will sit right on the top. The guidebook fits perfectly in the size of the box. You can see that. And then the Oracle cards are a little bit smaller. And I would say, yeah, that these are kind of, they're like the Goldilocks size of Oracle cards, right? They are not too big, so they fit comfortably in your hand, and they're not too small so that they're difficult to shuffle. They just really are just beautiful and easy to shuffle in this size. And that makes a difference because I have small hands. So a lot of you ladies will know if you have small hands, some decks can be really hard to shuffle, and I've never had a problem with this deck. So keep that in mind. Let me show you just the feel of the cards, right? This is just something that it's like the first thing that I noticed really about cards. And I love these. This is my preferred texture to cards. It's got that matte finish and it's not shiny or slippery. There's no gilding on the edges. And I think that works. So these cards themselves, it kind of suits the mood of these cards to not have that edging on there. So I think that they have done an amazing job with the images, and I will show all the images to you. Seriously, I'm going to do an overhead and show you all the card images so you can actually really get a feel. Because don't you hate that when you go to purchase an Oracle deck and you see like 3 images and you think, oh, I'll take a chance. So I got you covered. I'm going to show you all of the card images. But one thing I do really want to note is that this is the updated version of the cards. I saw that when I went to purchase it, there was an original version that had kind of this like cream border around the edges, and it just felt like those beautiful images were so constrained. And there is just something so powerful about the images. There's so many kind of layers to the symbols that they've chosen to put in these cards that it is worth it. I am so glad that they did an updated version and really let those images shine and come right out to the edges of the card. So the one that I'm going to link in the description for you will be that one. It'll be this updated version, not the one with the border. I think it's like a couple dollars more on Amazon. So worth it, totally worth it, in my opinion. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was the guidebook. If you know me and Oracle cards, you will know that actually I don't use this very often. I was taught to really, get that heart question and then look at the images and receive your intuitive answers from the images. And these cards shine at that. It is so easy to get answers from these cards because there's something in the image that's going to speak to you and stand out. However, I do want to say it's not like the exception, but I actually look at this guidebook. Let's just put it that way. There are some decks that I don't even bother, but this one, again, I think this comes down to the author's clear vision of what she wanted to convey in each of the cards. And so it's worth reading the messages. She's got a nice kind of, the introduction, kind of how you can use the cards in here. There's a suggested layout if you want to do that. And I love that. I think that's always great to have in guidebooks because if somebody is new to Oracle cards, it gives them a jumping off point. And I think that is so valuable. For the images themselves, they show them in the top corner. They're not in color, but I don't know. For me, it didn't bother me that they weren't in color because I've got the card right here and the card is stunning. And then there is a really in-depth messages in here. It's usually like probably a couple pages long. And so she really does take care in what she wanted to convey. And the reason that I actually read the message from the guidebook after I get my own intuitive answers is because there's always something in there. It's like one line or just this paragraph that it just added this extra layer onto there. And it's kind of like the divine is just dropping in a little something more that they wanted you to know. So I think this is super valuable to read her messages. And then she always does a beautiful healing process. The healing process that she's laid out is so beautiful. They really are like this way to seal in the guidance that you received, right? You've got your intuitive messages, you read the guidebook, you got another layer on there, and then the healing process that she has put there for you, it really kind of cements it in. It usually has you do something meditative or even go outside, and then she's got a few lines for you to say aloud, and it's just like you're declaring that intention of receiving the message that you got from the divine. And I just love it. It's just a beautiful, like a little finishing touch on there. So do I recommend this Oracle deck? I think, yeah, 10 out of 10. Absolutely. I think this is just a fantastic deck, not only for the images and allowing you to receive your messages, but also for the work that was put into it. I know you want to see those images, so let's get to them. I gotta know, are you gonna get the deck? Is this gonna be one in your collection, or do you already even have this deck? That is so fascinating to me. If you have this deck already, leave me a comment below and let me know what your favorite part about it is. And I would also love to hear from you guys. Is there a deck that you would like to see further? Would you like me to do more videos like this? And is there a deck that you would recommend that I get and do an in-depth review for you? Because I think that sounds like so much fun. Alrighty, until next time, bye for now.